League contest between the visiting South Bay Storm and the host San Francisco Seagulls. I am your announcer, Dion, welcoming you to BayAreaSports.tv. I am happy you're with us on this beautiful, glorious Monday evening here on the peninsula just south of the city. Looks like the two umpires are about to exchange lineups and discuss ground rules. Looks like it's going to be Mark Caviglia from the Seagulls, and I believe that is T.C. Fairfield from the South Bay Storm. This will be one 9-inning game tonight. Sorry if my voice is a bit raspy. It's just been, allergy season has been at a surging blitz this season, and I will say that it is what I like to affectionately call a pollen apocalypse, and I am certainly not immune. Excuse me. Anyway, of course, I was thinking about this is a different franchise in the circuit. Top speed baseball coach Stan Swatala put his,
I'm going to give you 23, Antonio Silvas.
As I wanted you to hear the starting lineup for the South Bay Storm. Anyway, to continue what I was saying, Stan Swatala said this on the Top Speed Baseball Twitter feed. I'm just going to translate it to make it seem like he's talking to me, that being your announcer, Dion. He said, rather than watching makeup tutorials on YouTube, get off the couch and do whatever you can to practice and perfect your sportscasting craft. Hashtag keeping it real. I just thought I'd give you a little quote that I was inspired and encouraged by on the Top Speed Baseball Twitter feed. That is at Top Speed BB. I know that's a different franchise in the league. I know that I'm just thought I'd throw that out there for you while it's still technically pregame. Anyway, this will be one 9-inning affair between the Storm and the Seagulls tonight. The Seagulls are 3-0 in league. They are just a half a game behind the first place Medford Rogues. That being said, the Seagulls are just a tail feather behind the Rogues, but a win for San Francisco tonight will pull them into a tie for first place. Although the South Bay Storm, who are 0-1, their loss was a 14-5 thumping at the hands of the Seagulls 2 nights ago. But I told some of the Storm players before the contest today, I said, you got to just put that loss to bed and focus on what lies ahead right here tonight on this beautiful Monday night here in San Bruno, which is in San Mateo County, just south of the city. Anyway, the umpires and coaches have just shaken hands to wrap up the pregame meeting. Looks like there is going to be a man behind the plate calling balls and strikes, as well as a field judge. Anyway, like I said, fasten your seatbelts. It is time to play baseball, and here come the San Francisco Seagulls taking the diamond. Anyway, the starting pitcher for San Francisco tonight is a holdover from last year's squad. Number 26, Kyle Bash, who just completed his junior year at Cal State East Bay, just across the bay in Hayward. Kyle Bash, who's been a Seagull veteran, he has definitely been an asset to the Seagulls franchise. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be, so it looks like I can almost hear the roars of airplanes leaving San Francisco International Airport. And also you can hear music being piped in by our stadium DJ. It's like, what a day to be at the Yard this Monday night. I know it's definitely going to, of course, I know fans are not going to be as numerous tonight as they were last Saturday for opening night. That is Jared Bannister, the starting catcher for San Francisco. Yeah, Kyle Bash, who is a local lad from San Carlos, 6'3", 195 pounds. It looks like it's going to be leading off for the South Bay Storm once the game gets off the ground will be Antonio Silvas, who wears the 23 on his uniform. Like I said, the Storm are 0-1 so far this year, while the Seagulls 3-0. I know the Seagulls are undefeated, but surprisingly, they are half a game back of the Medford Rogues, who are 4-0. I know the Rogues got out the broom against the California Bees Thursday through Sunday up there in Oregon, alias the Beaver State. Throw down to second base by Bannister, and here we go. We're getting ready to play baseball here on Monday night. Here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's play ball. Antonio Silvas coming in now. The Storm wearing their blue jerseys, the Seagulls in their black jerseys with blue sleeves and blue numbers and lettering that says San Francisco across the front. Here's Antonio Silvas, who just completed his freshman season at West Valley College in Saratoga. It is Kyle Bash, who was a holdover from last year's Seagull squad. Here comes the motion by Bash. He deals to Antonio. It is on the inside corner for a called strike. And that's how I start this one. No balls and one strike on the Storm leadoff batter. And now Bash into his motion. The one strike pitch, stringing a foul to the screen. So Silvas in a hole, 0-2. Anyway, it's J.D. Pinion on deck waiting his turn to bat. 2 strikes on the Storm leadoff batter. Like I said last Saturday, the Storm, as a franchise, could resemble the Human Torch from Fantastic Four. That is to say, their rally cry is, "Flame on!" Target outside. Here it comes. Ball 1. Missed outside with that 1-2 on Silvas. That's right. Flame on. That's the catchphrase of the Human Torch, alias Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four. Bash shakes off one. Now he gets what he likes. 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss, and that's why I start this one. A swing and strikeout to put the first out up there. 1 down. So one way they'll send up J.D. Pinion.
Batting second for the Storm, number 8, J.D. Pinion.
J.D. Pinion steps into the box now for the South Bay Storm. 1 away, righty against righty matchup. Pinion, I should say, is from his freshman. He completed his freshman season at Chico State. He is from Chico. Here it comes. Upstairs, 1-0 on Pinion. So that's right. This kid happens to be a local lad as far as attending a local college in his neck of the woods. And this summer he decided to come to the Bay Area. 1-0 to J.D. It is swing rip on the ground and it's on to third base. Nice scoop at the hot corner. He throws him out. 2 down. He just said he'd hold on long enough. Yes, he did. Somehow plopped out of the first baseman's glove. That being who's that out there? I'm trying to figure out what that is. Well,
Storm, number 30, Aaron.
Don't have time to scan right now. Anyway, 2 down. Here comes my mistake. It's actually Aaron Hotch. Aaron Hotch to the box now for South Bay. 2 down. Bases unoccupied for the Storm here in the first inning. Bash into his motion to pitch to Hotch. Strike 1 called inside corner. Nice breaking ball by Bash. He did get it up. 0-1 on Aaron. Right-hander target outside. Here it comes. Outside and high. 1-1 on Hotch. Hotch is from South San Francisco, a local product. He lives really close to here. He just completed his freshman year at Kenyatta College. 1-1 pitch from Bash. It is outside again. 2-1 on Hotch. That's right. So attending local colleges can be beneficial, especially if they happen to be supportive of the career path that each student athlete elects to pursue, if not baseball. 2-1 pitch to Hotch. It is strike 2 called, and it's Hotch with an even count of 2-2. On deck is Brendan Priap. 2-2 from Bash. Upstairs, full count. Bash gets a sign. 3-2 payoff. Swinging a rip foul to left, still 3-2 on Hotch. Like I said, the South Bay Storm looking to make this the night of redemption after suffering a 14-5 taste of reality against the Seagulls 2 nights ago, right here at this very facility. Still a full count. Here comes the payoff once again from Bash. It is swung on to miss. Not to do it for the Storm. 3 up, 3 down. After half an inning, South Bay 0, San Francisco coming up.
that promo. The
Storm is right-handed hurler Michael Lemus, number 42. Lemus, who is a San Jose resident, he just completed his sophomore year at Kenyatta College in Redwood City. Bottom of the first inning, no score, and the Seagulls coming up. Shane Wallace to lead things off for San Francisco in the bottom of inning numero uno. I know that the Storm went down pretty quietly in the top of the first inning. Here's Shane Wallace to lead things off, facing right-handed hurler Michael Lemus. Here's right-handed pitcher versus left-handed batter. The motion and the pitch to Shane Wallace. It is outside corner, strike one called on the Seagull leadoff batter. Wallace, who has just completed his freshman year, same Kenyatta College, interesting coincidence. So teammates in the school portion of the year facing each other. One strike pitch, strike two swing, they chased one in the dirt, and it's 0-2. So I guess Lemus and Wallace happen to be teammates for the Kenyatta Colts during the spring athletics campaign, and these people playing on different teams facing each other. Here comes the pitch from Lemus. It is cut, but he checked his swing, and he did not offer, I don't think so, the appeal, and it's a check swing. 1-2 on the Seagull leadoff man, Shane Wallace. Jordan Williams was on deck waiting his turn to bat. So it's Wallace still behind, this time 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's Lemus ready. 1-2 offering, down in the dirt. So it's a 2-2 count on Shane. As usual, I'm decked out in pink tonight. If you want to notice, I am in a more liberalized form of pink. If you want to check me out, I'm right behind home plate. If you want to see my pink, it's 2-2 offering. It is strike 3 called. Now Wallace looking at backwards K, 1 away. With 1 away, that'll send up Jordan Williams.
For your Seagulls, number 7 from Williams University, Jordan Williams.
As you heard, Jordan Williams, an Albany resident, he just completed his junior year at William Jessup. That is a private Christian school on the outskirts of Sacramento. Williams in the box with 1 away here in the first inning. Here's Michael Lemus into his windup. Here comes the pitch to Jordan Williams. It is straight down the middle, strike 1 called. So it's Michael the pitcher versus Jordan the batter. That's a fascinating coincidence had I witnessed before. 0-1. Now Lemus into his windup. The 1-strike pitch to Williams. It is down in there for a called strike 2, and it's Williams in an 0-2 hole. Cole Gabrielson is on deck. He will bat next. 2 strikes on Jordan. Jordan wears the 7 on his jersey. He is behind 0-2. Lemus ready. Target outside. 0-2. It is in the dirt, low and away. 1-2 on Williams. Williams, well, he definitely has some pop in his bat. I happened to witness that last Saturday when he obtained at least some offense for San Francisco on opening night last Saturday. Here's Michael Lemus getting the sign. Soon to get it. Well, it's taking his time now. He's into his motion. 1-2 offering. Low and outside those well off the plate. 2-2. We're just getting tonight's contest off the ground. It's 2-2 on Jordan. Cole Gabrielson on deck taking practice swings, waiting his turn to step into the box.
Come on, J-Dub.
Here's Lemus. He's ready. Here it comes. Swinging a check swing liner on the ground to second base. He fields it to his left and throws him out. 2 quick outs for the Seagulls here in the bottom of inning numero uno. 2 down, there's Cole Gabrielson stepping into the box for San Francisco. Cole looking to stage a 2-out rally for the Seagulls.
Third. From San Mateo College, number 36, Cole Gabrielson.
As you heard, Cole Gabrielson he attends CSM, that is to say College of San Mateo. He just completed his freshman year. He is a Portola Valley resident on the outskirts of Silicon Valley. 2 outs, base is empty. Lemus ready. The pitch to Cole. Swinging a skide to right field. Right fielder backs up under it. He waits for it patiently and puts it away. So a quick inning, 3 up, 3 down on both sides. After 1, there is no score, but do not despair because there is more game to play. Brendan Priap to lead things off for the Storm. Both offenses were 3 up, 3 down in the first inning, so it was a rather quiet and quick inning to start tonight's Monday night contest. 4, 5, and 6, Brendan Priap to lead things off facing Kyle Bash. The motion by Kyle. Here comes the pitch to Priap. It is swinging and skied to shallow center. All the room in the world for the center fielder, and he makes the play. That was a can of corn, and I would assume it's a can of popcorn. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Batting fifth, number 12, Lucas Townsend.
Lucas Townsend, who is defensively the catcher for South Bay in tonight's contest. That's right, Monday Night Baseball right here on the Peninsula. 1 away, Townsend wears the 12 on his jersey as a homage to the Seattle Seahawks. Here comes the motion by Bash, the pitch to Townsend, upstairs 1-0. That's right, when you consider CenturyLink Field, how they raised the 12 flag as a pregame ritual to salute the 12th man. You get it? 1-0 pitch. Strike called outside corner, 1-1. But of course, in baseball, it will be presumably the 10th man. Of course, I know a lot of people come out to the park tonight to play as the 10th man, just like I'm the 10th member of the team. 1-1. Strike. No, that's ball. I'd take that back. 2-1. That's right. I feel like I'm the 10th member of the team. Well, you see what I'm getting at, dude. Hitters count of 2-1 on Townsend. And Bash ready. Here it comes. Upstairs, 3-1 on Townsend. So Townsend had 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Michael Montreza. He will come up next. 3-1 pitch from Bash. It is cut on and grounded routinely to second base to his right. A second he has to hurry. Scoops it, flips to first in time. 2 down. Michael Montreza steps up now for the South Bay Storm.
Montieza will be tonight's Snack bar batter.
Snack bar batter, wow.
If he strikes out, all drinks, chips, candy, and hot dogs at the snack bar are 50% off for the next 5 minutes.
Dude, that is a humdinger of a promotion. If this guy fans, I'm getting myself some grub. Michael Montreza looking to generate a 2-out rally. Bash deals, swinging a foul, strike one. So it's 0-1 on Montreza. Montreza is a Los Gatos resident. He just completed his freshman year at Trinity University. 1 strike on the Los Gatos resident. Here's Bash. He deals it. And the dirt ball squirts through the wickets of the catcher, Jared Bannister, and it's a ball and a strike on Montreza. Here comes the 1-1 pitch upstairs. Hitter's count of 2-1 on Montreza. Two and 1 on the snack batter. He's gonna give me some grub. Yeah, dude. 2-1 pitch, cut on and chopped high to shortstop. This won't be a strikeout, but it won't be any out whatsoever as it squirts underneath the glove of the charging shortstop, so it's a 2-out single.
Any more at-bats, folks?
You said it, bud.
Number 37, Kevin Mathis.
Kevin Mathis steps into the box now for the Storm. Still 2 down. Montreza, the runner on first base for South Bay. Here's a stretch by Bash. Here it comes. Outside corner, strike 1 called. Mathis behind in the count, 0-1. The stretch by Bash. He deals it. Strike 2 called, and it's Mathis in an 0-2 hole. So Montreza reached by that single up the middle a moment ago, just beyond the reach of the Seagull shortstop. 2 strikes on Mathis. Ty Garcia on deck. Here's a stretch by Bash. 0-2 offering runner goes. Swung on and popped up. This is foul. The catcher waits for it now. Oh man, he dropped the ball. Wowzer. I guess Mathis gets a second chance. I guess tough luck for Bannister. He let the ball plop out of his glove. I guess the only problem is he had a mechanical issue with his glove. He closed it up too soon, and that's what caused the ball to plop out. Anyway, it's still no balls to 2 strikes on Mathis. So maybe Mathis will be able to exploit that drop by Bannister. We'll see. Stretch by Bash. 0-2 offering. Lined up the middle to short. He scoops it. Underhand second. Fielder twice to retire the side. So after 1.5, there is no score. For the Seagulls, anyway. I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. The Seagulls traveled to Yuba on Sunday and took 2 from the Gold Sox. Game 1 was 7-4, and Game 2 was 3-2. So it's Miles Costin, as aforementioned. He is from North Carolina Central, completed his junior season. Here's Michael Lemus into his motion. The pitch to Miles Costin. It is cut on and chopped over third base, but foul. Strike run on the Seagull cleanup batter. The Miles Costin, Tyler Joshin, and Jared Bannister, 4, 5, and 6 due up for San Francisco in the second inning. Lemus into his windup. Here comes the offering outside. A ball and a strike on Costin. Miles Costin. When I think about this guy's first name, I think about two albums by John Oates, from solo albums from Mr. Oates. Here comes a 1-1 pitch to Costin. It is in the dirt, 2-1. That's right. I think of it's all 1,000 Miles of Life and Mississippi Mile. That's what I think about. Yeah, Miles, I get it. Like it's 1,000 Miles of Life, Mississippi Mile, where both titles are reminiscent of the batter's first name, the one that's currently in the box. 2-1 on Costin. The motion by Lemus. Here comes the offering. It is low and outside. 3-1 on Miles. That was just a tad low and outside until Lemus in his own way saying, hey, that was my fault. Yeah, he was honest enough to admit that he messed up on that latest offering. 3-1. The motion and the 3-1 from Lemus. Outside, ball 4. So walk to Miles Costin, and the Seagulls have their first base runner of the night.
Number 1, Tyler Joshin.
Tyler Joshin steps up. He is from San Jose. Just completed his sophomore year at De Anza College. So it's nobody down. Costin, the runner on first. Tyler Joshin in the box for the Seagulls. Anyway, so it's up to Joshin to maybe he'll sacrifice. Maybe he'll lay it down and get Costin to scoring position. I don't know. Pitch taken outside for a ball. Well, he wasn't looking to bunt on that first pitch. I'm guessing he could be swinging away unless Kavivia does have him lay it down. See what happens here. 1-0 on Tyler. Stretched by Lemus. He deals it. Taken inside. First pitch was outside. Second pitch was inside. So it's a 2-0 strike count. Tyler ahead. 2-0. Here's the stretch by Michael Lemus. Target outside. Here comes the 2-0. Strike called outside corner. 2-1 on Joshin. Jared Bannister on deck, waiting his turn to bat. 2-1 on Tyler. We're in the second inning. There is no score. I feel there's a big gap in right center for the left-handed batter, Tyler. Stretch, the 2-1. And the ball squirts away, and that's going to be a rather easy take of second base by Miles Costin. A wild pitch puts the Seagulls in scoring position. 3-1 on Joshin. So Joshin had 3 balls and 1 strike. A basic can probably pick up Costin from second. Stay tuned. The check, and here it comes. Strike 2 call. No, that may out the ball. I made a mistake. I guess the catcher thought the latest pitch was a strike, but I thought so too. But the umpire said it was a ball. Well, so now Jared Bannister steps up. Well, how about this? You know, I thought about what one of the San Francisco Giants announcers said on a recent broadcast on KNBR. He says, in the year 2042, they should have robot umpires, but in 2019 we still have human umpires. So that being said, well, whether it's human umpires or robot umpires, I don't think that'll make that much of a difference, if any. Honest. Jared Bannister up, ducks on the pond, nobody down for San Francisco. Here's a stretch by Lemus. He deals to Jared Bannister. It's a ball taken upstairs just by a tad. 1-0 on the Seagull catcher. 1-0. Like I said, the Seagulls took 2 from Yuba yesterday against the Gold Sox. So the Seagulls opened the season 3-0, while the Storm, in contrast, 0-1. Stretch by Lemus. Target outside. Here comes the 1-0 offering. Strike called outside corner. Certainly a called strike that time around. Ball and a strike on the Seagull catcher. Bannister had dropped a pop-up behind the plate. when the Seagulls were on defense in the top of this inning, but it made no difference. 1-1 on Bannister. I should mention Bannister it's just completed his junior year at Hawaii Pacific. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. 2-run. So Bannister, a San Ramon resident, as I said, completed his junior season at Hawaii Pacific. I know there's some people wearing Hawaii Pacific t-shirts in attendance. I'm sure they're here right now. I just don't have time to scan the crowd, per se. Hitters count 2-1 on Jared. Stretch by Lemus. He bluffs to come over to second, and Costin races back in without a throw. That's Dirk Ryan on deck, waiting his turn to bat. 2-1 on Jared. Stretch by Lemus. Here it comes. He steps off. Okay, that was a fascinating step off by the right-handed hurler Michael Lemus. Maybe timeout was called and I just didn't happen to spot it. Oh well. Back to the game now. 2-1 still on Jared. Here's a stretch by Lemus. Target outside. Here it comes. Swinging a round ball down. Oh, nice timing. Stop at first base. It throws it from his back. Oh, he got it. Oh, loaded the plate. Oh, give me some cheesesteak. A double play. A state-of-the-art double play to put 2 outs up there. Bang, bang, first he was out. Now Caviglia is going to dispute the call. Looked like it was bang, bang. Bannister insisting he was safe. The runner was Costin without scoring. Well, that's for sure. Well, we'll see. Says 2 outs on the scoreboard. Well, I don't know. The umpires are going to sort this out. You can tell that there's, you can hear the wail of fire truck sirens blaring in the distance. I don't see no fire. Oh, he's safe, so I guess the out at first is nullified. Now, T.C. Fairfield is going to have a word with the home plate umpire as well. I guess he wants an explanation. Well, dude. Well, Bannister was safe on first. Well, Costin was out at the dish, so it's 1 out.
Now batting, number 20 from Pierce College, Dirk Ryan.
Dirk Ryan steps up first and second, 1 away for San Francisco here in the second inning. I don't know what's with all those fire trucks. They're gone now. Here comes the offering. Swinging a lefted foul to the screen. Strike 1. Of course, I got to smuggle my lucky items into the facility today. I brought my terrible towel. I brought my Lucky Charm socks. And other stuff as well. It's 1 strike on Dirk Ryan. Dirk Ryan, who is just completed his freshman year at L.A. Pierce College down in Tinseltown. He's from Canyon Country, California. Stretch, the 1-strike pitch from Lemus. It is swing ripped on the ground to third base. Oh, it takes a bad hop! Now the runner's going to be given the go-ahead or swing at home. They may have a play! And the Seagulls hit the scoreboard first. And stumbling across the dish is Tyler Joshin. So it's 1-0 San Francisco here in the second inning. A 1-out RBI single for Ryan. Dirk Ryan, no relation to the Express.
From Westmont College, number 32, Neil Sturling.
Now, if you ever wanted someone front and center on a stage, on a play in Broadway, this is the man the Seagulls want up there. Neil Sturling was a new look. He just completed his senior year at Westmont College, a Half Moon Bay resident. First and second still 1 away. Seagulls on top 1-0. Lemus ready. He deals it. Swinging a chopper, foul to the left, strike 1 on Sturling. So Sturling has been a veteran and an asset to the Seagulls. Let's see if he can live up to his billing right now. I guess for Sturling, his presence on the Seagulls has been worth its weight in gold. 1 strike on Neil. Michael Lemus still facing somewhat of a Seagull threat. Stretch, the 0-1. Bluffing, and he offered strike 2. The ball squirted behind the catcher, but the runners were not gambling. No balls and 2 strikes on Sturling. to Jarrett Bannister on second, Dirk Ryan on first. One down here in the second inning for the Seagulls. Now Michael Lemus peers in for the sign. Now he's into a stretch. Here comes the two-strike pitch. High. 1-2 on Sterling. Second inning, Seagulls ahead 1-0 as the Seagulls have an opportunity for some breathing room. First and second still one down. 1-2. Sterling behind in the count. As Lima steps off, and steps back on the side. Don't forget, last Saturday the Seagulls trounced the Storm 14-5. Stretch, the 1-2, it is in the dirt, 2-2 on Sterling. Yeah, Neil Sterling, who could be on the ballot for MVP voting in the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League after the season is wrapped. At least Neil will get my vote for MVP. I don't say that about players generally. He is definitely probably going to be looked at by some Major League scouts. Stretch, the 2-2, swing and a miss, and that's two down for the Seagulls here in the second inning. Still two runners aboard.
99 from University of San Francisco, number 23, John Murray.
As you heard, John Murray up, first and second, this time two down. Murray, who is from Millbrae, he just completed his senior year at USF up in the city. John Murray up, 2 on, 2 away. Stretch, target outside. Here comes the pitch to Murray. It is swinging a ground ball, hits right and foul. Strike one. One strike on Murray. Well, base hit can probably pick up a run because considering how Jarrett Bannister, the lead runner on second, is slow since he is a catcher, you don't expect him to score unless it's a drive into the alley. Here comes the stretch. The one strike pitch to John. Strike two, a ball plopped out of the glove of the catcher. It was not a foul tip, it was a complete miss. Bottom line, it is 0-2 on Murray. Murray's the ninth batter in the Seagull order. Bannister on second, Ryan on first. Two down, stretch by Lemus. Two strike pitch. Then the dirt. Not exactly in the dirt, it was low and away. 1-2. One and two on Murray. 2 on, 2 away for the Seagulls here in the second inning. Seagulls have already hit the scoreboard first in this frame. Here's a stretch by Michael. 1-2 offering. Bluffing, he did not offer. 2-2. Two balls and two strikes on Murray. 2 on, 2 away. Might as well refer to it. It's Deuces Wild, as foretold by Vin Scully. As Lemus gets the sign he likes. Checks the runner on second, Bannister, and comes to the dish. Strike three swinging as the Seagulls leave 2 out there, but nevertheless, the Seagulls do hit the scoreboard first. After 2, 1-0, San Francisco.
You are interested in the Dizzy Bats contest that will be happening at the end of this half inning. Please go meet by the green shed. I promise you will not be disappointed with the prize.
Sorry for all the dead air, folks. Over to first base. He is safe. Nice dig at first, but no nail of the runner. I guess I apologize for the dead air, my friends. It was just we're having some issues with my microphone here. I guess a lot of silence in the top of the third and until now here in the bottom of the third. Williams in the box now. The stretch, the pitch from Quintana. Line foul, strike one. Alright, so one strike on Williams. I guess sometimes we can have some technical issues here, and I guess tonight is no exception. One strike on Williams. Wallace on first, reached by that single a moment ago. Now, the Storm went down pretty quietly in the top of the third inning. Runner on first base and Wallace with nobody down. Williams waits as Quintana into a stretch. Carson Quintana. Here comes the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch strike to his swing and throw to second base. And it's going to be safe as he stumbles off the base and he somehow keeps his big toe on there. Now don't push him off the base, dude. That's... Even if the second baseman had pushed Wallace off the base, it would probably be ruled a fielder interference of some sort. Be reminiscent of what Kent Herbeck did to Ron Gant in Game 2 of the 1991 World Series. Well, it's two strikes on Williams, so his pitch was a strike. And now the right-hander Carson Quintana, he's ready. Check. And the two-strike pitch. Swinging line in the hole. It's going to be a base hit to right field. The runner's going to be given the go-ahead by Doug Pricer. He's steaming around third. Breathing. It's going to be nothing. They're going to come. Yeah, give me some cheesecake. The Seagulls obtain an insurance run courtesy of an RBI signal by Williams. Scoring is Wallace. 2-0 Seagulls.
College of San Mateo, number 36.
Cole Gabrielson steps into bat now for the Seagulls. Still nobody out here in the third inning. The Seagulls are determined to pull into a tie for first place with Medford, who is currently a half a game to the good over the Seagulls in the standings as we open the 2019 campaign. The stretch by Carson Quintana. He deals it. Swinging a ground ball, that's going to be to first base. Nice juggle, throw to second for one. He's out there, throw to first. Not quite. But they do nail Williams on second, courtesy of the 3-6 fielder's choice.
Now batting from North Carolina Central University, number 9, Miles.
As you heard, Miles Costin. I love his walk-up number. It's very uplifting, if you ask moi. Costin up with Gabrielson on first base. One away for the Seagulls here in the third inning. The stretch. And here comes the offering to Costin. It is Steve right called. Outside corner 0-1 on the Seagull cleanup man. Seagulls scored once in the second and once so far here in the third. A little tidbit from our stadium DJ. Fascinating. One strike pitch. In there for a strike, despite the drop. Well, it's two strikes on Miles Costin. Two strikes on Costin. Tyler Joshin on deck. Miles in an 0-2 hole. Here comes the stretch by Quintana. Here it comes. Blitzing, and he takes it outside for a ball. 1-2 on Costin. Should mention some facts about this right-handed reliever. Carson Quintana just completed his freshman year at Chabot College. So he is attending a college that's somewhat local here in the San Francisco Bay Area. 1-2 pitch to Costin. Runner goes. Pitch chips his back and runs right to shortstop. He will throw to first. It is in time, but the runner safe on second. Well, give me some cheesecake. That bat was cranked completely to pieces.
Now batting.
Might as well call it Splinterville.
Kansas College, number 1, Tyler Joshin.
Tyler Joshin comes up with Gabrielson on second base, 2 away. A base hit by Joshin can probably pick up Gabrielson. We'll see, but there are 2 outs, so Cole will be running at the crack of the bat. As Carson Quintana works from the stretch. He deals it. Strike 1-0-1 on Tyler. The Storm looking to improve upon their 0-1 record so far this year. Stretch. Check on second. The one strike pitch to Tyler. It is strike two called. Now it's Tyler in an 0-2 hole. Two strikes on Joshin. Jared Bannister on deck, hoping to get a turn to bat in this frame. Two strikes on Tyler. Here's a stretch by Quintana. He deals two-strike pitch, swing and a miss, and that will do it for the Seagulls, but they do obtain an insurance run. After three, San Francisco ahead, 2-zip.
He's all set with his food. Not gonna have
Hey Seagull fans, just a reminder that there is a raffle going on for our youth programs to support them to go to Cooperstown. For more information, go to the snack bar and buy some.
Storm looking to reply to their two-run deficit here. They have ample time in which to do so. Pinion, Hotch, and Priap, 2, 3, and 4, facing Kyle Bash, the right-handed ace for the Seagulls. Here's Bash. He's into his windup. The pitch to JD. It is in there. Strike one called. I will say, Kyle Bash, no question, is certainly one of, if not the, top pitchers on the Seagull pitching staff. Here's one strike pitch to J.D. Pinion. Strike two, foul tip, no balls and 2 strikes on Pinion. 3 innings down, 6 innings left to play here, so I will say that the outcome of tonight's game is still very much in doubt. I know the Seagulls have a 2-0 lead, but it is sizable. The Seagulls routed the Storm 14-5 on Saturday. 0-2, missed outside and high, 1-2 on Pinion. 1-2. Bash is into his windup. 1-2 offering in the dirt. 2-2 on Pinion. Here's a little something I throw out there for you. There are 2 fascinating sound effects that I naturally think of every time something unfortunate happens in my life. One is The Price is Right losing horns. The other is the Wheel of Fortune bankrupt whistle. 2-2. Strike 3 call. Give me some cheesecake. 1 away. Aaron Hotch comes up for the Storm.
Number 30, Aaron Hotch.
Aaron Hotch comes up. Yeah, Aaron, who was named after Moses' sidekick. Hotch comes up with 1 away. Bases empty here in the 4th inning. Inning numero 4. Here's Bash. He's into his windup. Pitch to Hotch. It is strike called straight down the heart of that 12-inch plate. 0-1. And now here comes the motion by Bash. The pitch in the dirt. A ball and a strike on Hotch. Brendan Priap is the on-deck hitter waiting his turn to bat. Priap hoping to come up as the tying run. He will do so if Hotch gets aboard here. Comes the motion and the 1-1 pitch to Hotch. A swing lifter foul to the parking lot just to our left. Strike two. 1-2 on. Oh, it hit. I could tell it hit something. Did it shatter a windshield? I would hope not, but if it does, that would be earth shattering. Comes the motion by Bash. The 1-2 upstairs and inside. It'll be a 2-2 count. 2-2 on Aaron Hotch. Here's Bash. He's ready. 2-2 offering to Aaron. It is swinging a foul tip, and it's still a 2-2 count on Aaron. One thing about Aaron. That's right. Aaron was named after Moses' sidekick. 2-2 on Hotch.
Oh my God.
Kyle Bash has been razor sharp from the get-go. Here's the 2-2, swinging a sky to center. Plenty of room, you would assume, for the center fielder as he puts it away for the second out. That was a can of corn. When I think about corn, I think about what Jack Benny once said to Frank Nelson. He said, do you know where the corn department is? And Frank Nelson said, I'm looking at it. Brendan Priap steps into the box. But find out more, you just got to watch that Jack Benny episode yourself. You can do so on YouTube and just see how hilarious that classic television sitcom was all those years ago. The pitch to Priap, way outside, 1-0. One to 0 on the Storm cleanup man. The motion by Bash. Here it comes. Taken upstairs. 2-0 on Priap. Lucas Townsend on deck, hoping to get a turn to bat here in the fourth. 2 balls, no strikes. Brandon ahead in the count. We're in the fourth inning. Seagulls ahead 2-0. Here's Bash into his windup. The 2-0 pitch to Priap. It is in there for a strike on the outside portion of that plate. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It is downstairs, just low. 3-1. Brendan Priap ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now Bash into his motion. Here it comes. Swinging a foul to right. Strike 2. The ball sailing like a laser blast to the street.
Snack bar for a free piece of candy.
Free piece of candy. Would that be the candy that was made by Lucy and Ethel in the chocolate factory in the I Love Lucy episode, Job Switching? 3-2 payoff. Strike 3 called. That will do it for the Storm here in the fourth. So after 3.5, Seagulls ahead 2-0. double it down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band.
From Hawaii Pacific University.
Back to baseball. Jared Bannister steps into the box for San Francisco. In case you just tuned in, the Seagulls lead the Storm 2-0. Bannister, Dirk Ryan, and Neil Sterling, 6, 7, and 8 do up for the Gulls here in the bottom of inning numero cuatro. New arm on the mound. It is Sam Nestari, a Cupertino resident. Nestari into his motion, the pitch. Swing Rama hurt routine, the shortstop. Nice go. June puts the ball ass. Oh, a juggle! Give me some cheesecake. That was a juggle that could just well be foreseen by Wingling brothers Barnum and Bailey.
Number 20 from Pierce College, Dirk Ryan.
As you heard, Dirk Ryan steps into bat now for the Seagulls. Dirk Ryan, no relation to the Express. Ryan up with Bannister on first, nobody down after that error at shortstop just a moment ago. Here's a stretch by the first pitch from Sam Nestari. It is inside for a ball, 1-0. Nestari, I should mention, just completed his junior year at Jackson State down in Mississippi. Here's a stretch by Nestari. Here it comes inside, just nicking him. 2-0 on Ryan. Like I said, Dirk Ryan shares no relation with the all-time strikeout king in baseball history. I can promise you that. Here's the 2-0. It is strike one inside corner. One away for the story to locate. I guess just like last Saturday, the South Bay Storm bullpen has been a revolving door bullpen. I guess backed by popular demand, the Storm has a revolving door bullpen, much like they did last Saturday. Here's pitch. It's ripped to left center field. Left fielder is in pursuit. He's going to let the ball fall in for a base hit. Station to station. Toward a second is arm length above the second baseman's glove, but bottom line, Bannister would have been safe on first, no matter what. Neil Sterling steps up for the Seagulls. Neil Sterling comes up to bat. 2 on, nobody down for the Seagulls. Yeah, we'll say, I guess the Seagulls' motto is fear the Gulls. Well, fear the Gulls, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Sometimes I can be afraid of my own shadow. Sometimes I can be as bold as Genghis Khan. Pitch, a check swing, somehow bat met ball. Somehow the pitch was an insider, and somehow Sterling, the ball grazed off his bat for what is technically declared a foul tip.
Okay.
That's right, yeah. Well, sometimes I can be scared of my own shadow. Sometimes I can be as bold as Genghis Khan. No, fear the Gulls. Well, that's a fascinating motto to live by. I say the Seagulls are going to go all the way this year. Oh, dude, that was a balk. Is that pretty obvious? Yes, sir, Bob, that was a balk. Second and third for San Francisco. Yeah, you don't go into your motion and stop. That is a definite rule for pitchers, to go into your motion and stop. That is a balk by any definition. So no balls, one strike still on Sterling. RBI opportunity, infield up now for the Storm. Here it comes. Line over second base. Oh, give me some cheesecake. That's going toward the gap. Sterling will pull up there at first, but even so, 2 runs come across as the Seagulls double their run total. 4-0 San Francisco.
Single for Neil Sterling.
So it's still nobody down. It's going to be John Murray.
Number 23, John Murray.
John Murray comes up, I guess. Well, T.C. Fairfield's going to trot out to the mound. I guess, well, Sam Nestari has been lit up so far here in the fourth. All I got to say is, well, this game is being featured on BayAreaSports.tv. It's right, TV as an Admiral Color Television. I know that Kim Banks, our director, as well as cameraman, is sporting his Vallejo Admirals hat. Yeah, well, so that's kind of reminds me of that, yeah. Admiral Color Television. Dude, the Admiral Color TV was state-of-the-art back in the 1960s. In 2019, such a gizmo is obsolete. 4-0 Seagulls. So Seagulls breaking this one open. Especially here in the bottom of inning numero cuatro. Still no outs. Murray in the box with Sterling on first base, who just had that 2-run single a moment ago. Target outside. Here comes the pitch to Murray. It is in there. Strike one called. 0-1 the count. I guess the right-hander's motion on the latest pitch was not so fluidy. I would have called it a balk if I was home plate umpire. Well, Nastari releases the first pitch to a strike for Murray. For a strike to Murray. The motion and the pitch. And then, that ball squirts away between the wickets of the catcher, and racing into second is Sterling. Dude. Well, all I gotta say is, I don't know what to say. Well, it's a very fascinating night. Fascinating Monday night here in San Bruno. A ball and a strike on John Murray. Seagulls ahead 4-0 here in the fourth inning. Stretch by the right-hander. Here it is. Ripped to left. My goodness, that was smoked. But as foretold by Hawk Harrelson, right size, wrong shape. Murray in a 1-2 hole. There's the right-hander Nastari into the stretch. Here it comes. Missed upstairs. Not by much though. 2-2. Nobody down. Sterling, the runner on second base. Basic can probably pick him up. 2-2 on Murray. Stretch. Target outside. Here it comes. In the dirt. Full count. A bad one here will put Gulls on the pond. A basic can perhaps plate Sterling. Lights are switched on here at San Bruno Park. This ballpark, which has no fences, but even so looks like it is a baseball-softball compromise. 3-2 payoff. Swing drive to left. This is shallow. Shortstop and left fielder in pursuit. Oh, what a running catch and stride by the left fielder to produce the first out. Murray retired. Back to the top of the order. Shane Wallace in the box.
Now batting from Kenyatta College, number 38, Shane Wallace.
Interesting thing, after I left my house today, when I had time to kill before the bus arrived, I decided to swing by this well-known health shop in my neck of the woods called Juice Girl. I'll tell you more details in just a sec. Here's a stretch by the right-hander Nastari. He deals it upstairs 1-0. I will say that there's this woman who works there who has today she called me Mr. Juice Girl. I won't mention this woman's name, but even so, this woman has the same first name as one of my cousins. I won't specify, but she says I've been a promoter for such a health shop. Here it is, a bunt, and he pulls back. It's a ball upstairs, 2-0. I got my usual home run smoothie from that joint. It was, as usual, first rate and exceptionally tasty. 2 balls and no strikes on Shane Wallace. It's Neil Sterling, the runner on second base. Stretch. Here comes the 2-0. High, 3-0. You don't want to walk Shane. He is a fast base runner. To walk him will spell big trouble. I should mention this game tonight is the only game on the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League docket for this day, Monday, June 3rd. 3-0 on Wallace. The stretch, and the right-hander delivers. It is in there for a strike on the inside corner, 3-1. So Wallace still ahead in the count this time, 3 balls and 1 strike. Jordan Williams on deck, hoping to get a turn to bat. Seagulls have already tallied twice in the fourth and in essence doubled their run total. Here comes the stretch, and here comes the runner. It's going to third. The pitch is a ground ball hit routinely to first base. Yes, no, nobody's going to cover! And scampering in like the Roadrunner cartoons as Shane Wallace, we almost want to say beep watching him run. No living soul was covering first.
From Williams Jessup University, number 7, Jordan Williams.
Jordan Williams up, runner at the corner, is still 1 down for the Seagulls here in the fourth inning. Jordan Williams comes up. We'll see. I mean, the Seagulls have a chance to obtain some more offense here. At least a sac fly will do the trick, but we'll see. Stretch. Here comes the offering. And a strike called inside corner. 0-1 the count on Jordan. So, like I said before, Jordan Williams, he just completed his junior year at William Jessup University, a private Christian school. 1 strike on Williams. Stretch. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, dude, isn't that a balk? Evidently. I guess no balk was issued. Well, that's fascinating. The stretch. The runner's going to the second pitch inside the third of second. It is not nearly in time. A stolen base credited to Shane Wallace. Well, dude, if you don't pay attention to Shane, he will catch you napping. Second and third infield is up now for South Bay. Basic can probably pick up 2 more, considering how the trail runner Shane Wallace is faster than the road runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch inside. Well, certainly 2-1 now. I guess told that Sam Nestori kind of looking at the umpire in a non-verbal way, saying, "Seriously, is that pitch inside?" Hitters down to 2-1 on Jordan Williams. Infield is up now for the Storm. Here comes the 2-1. Swing ripped over third, but foul. Strike 2.
Just a reminder, fans, if you return a foul ball to the snack bar, you get a free piece of candy.
2-2 on Williams. Of course, like our stadium announcer said during one of these breaks, the Seagulls traveled to Medford this coming Thursday through Sunday to play the Rogues. The stretch. Here comes the offering. And the ball squirts away, but the runner ricochets right back to Lucas Townsend, the catcher. 3-2 count on Williams. You can tell I got quite a following here at San Bruno Park. I guess some people elected to sit in my territory. Welcome to Dion's territory, my friends. 3-2 count on Williams. Here's the stretch, and here's the payoff. Swing right to left, that's high and hammered, but it's curving and it's going and it's foul. Definitely right-sized, wrong shape, as foretold by Hawk Harrelson. Williams put a charge in that latest pitch, but it was definitely 476 feet foul. Well, first base is open. It's Sterling on third, Wallace on second. 1 away for the Seagulls here in the 4th inning. Now here's the right-hander. He's ready. Payoff again. Upstairs, ball 4. So now Sox packed with Seagulls as Williams was a bit hesitant. He wanted to make absolute sure that latest pitch was a ball, and it was. Cole Gabrielson steps out into the box.
Number 36, Cole Gabrielson.
Cole Gabrielson steps into the box now for San Francisco. He has a chance to replicate what Dan Wilson did at the Kingdome back in 1998. Remember when Dan Wilson hit that inside the park grand slam for the Seattle Mariners? If Cole hits a grand slam right here, and inside the park grand slam, obviously, but we'll see. The pitch to Cole. In there, strike 1 called, 0-1 the count. 1 strike on Cole Gabrielson. Yeah, I can't believe Dave Niehaus had an epic call of Dan Wilson's inside the park grand slam back in 1998. That was against Detroit. Here's the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Ball's outside and it squirts away, but to no avail. 1-1. 4-0 Seagulls here in the 4th. Bases jammed, 1 away. Well, we'll see. This is going to probably be a carbon copy of what happened 2 nights ago. Here's the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Swing ripped into left center field. It's going to be a base hit. 1 run will score for sure. Here's the trail run. He's going to be steaming around third. He is going to come in standing up. A 2-run single for Gabrielson. And stopping on second is Jordan Williams as both Sterling and Wallace come in.
Now batting. Number 9.
4 runs in the 4th for the goal. 6-0.
Miles Costa.
This above aforementioned number makes me want to get up in front of the fans and do what is affectionately called the prime time shuffle. Visit to the pitcher's mound from Lucas Townsend. All right, get back to work momentarily. All right, so it's up to Miles Costin to live up to his role as a cleanup batter. The Seagulls have tallied 4 times in the 4th. Miles Costin. That above-mentioned number is actually the number that they play at the Oakland Coliseum whenever an Oakland A hits a home run. That's the A's home run song. Here's the stretch. The pitch to Costin. Runners are going. Pitch line. You know, serve in. Oh, give me some cheesecake. That could be a gonzo. Jones will come across for sure. There's Miles Costin steaming around third. He's going to be given the green light. He's going to keep on going. Really hard to be able to play. He hits out at home. Nice try, Miles. A good A for effort. I guess, well, 8-0 Seagulls, but the second out. Sending him all the way. I guess the only problem is Costin should have been more aggressive running the bases.
Now batting from De Anza College, number 1, Tyler Joshin.
Tyler Joshin comes up 2 down, bases unoccupied. 8-0 Seagulls. A 2-0 nail biter turns into an 8-0 rout in the 4th inning. Tyler Joshin up. Here's the right-hander Nastari. He's into his motion. The pitch. Downstairs. 1-0 on Joshin. 1-0 the count on Tyler Joshin. 2 outs. The Seagulls have tallied 6 times here in the 4th. Lead 8-0. The motion and the 1-0. Ball's inside. Plops to the right of the catcher. 2-0 on Joshin. Tyler had 2 balls and no strikes. Jared Bannister on deck. Comes the windup in the 2-0 offering. It is Slater drive, tries it all. Give me some cheesecake. That's in the gap. There goes Joshin steaming around first. There's Reed, second to be able to play. And daily double for Tyler.
Now batting from Hawaii Pacific University, number 10,
Jared Bannister comes up. I'll take Seagulls rally for $2,000, Alex. Bannister up, still 2 down as the Seagulls have Joshin on second base after that 2-baser a moment ago. 8-0 Seagulls here in the 4th inning. Wow, this game is turning into a laugher, just like last Saturday. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes on the Seagull catcher. What a rally for the Seagulls. This has been a 6-run onslaught so far here in the 4th inning. 1-0 on Bannister. Here comes the stretch by the right-hander Turner Nastari. He deals it. Whipped on the ground to shortstop. Oh, how was it? Just eluded hitting him before the first in time to end the onslaught at long last. Nearly hit Tyler Joshin, but he somehow dodged that screaming line drive on the ground. But even so, after 4, 8-0 Seagulls.
Hey fans, are you hungry? Well, look no further. Take a visit to the world-famous Seagulls Snack Bar with unlimited offers of hot dogs, chips, drinks, and candy. I promise you won't.
eligible for a winning decision. Lucas Townsend to lead things off for South Bay as we are in the 5th inning as 4 innings down, 5 innings left to play. 8-0 Seagulls as Kyle Bash has been as cool as a cucumber on the mound for the Gulls tonight. Here comes pitch to Townsend, swinging a sky, foul left side, out of play, strike one. Townsend, Montreza, and Mathis, 5, 6, and 7 due up for South Bay here in the 5th inning at San Bruno Park down on the peninsula. One strike on Townsend. Wow, Seagulls ahead 8-0. My goodness. Here comes the pitch to Lucas. It is ripped over first, but foul, strike two. A screaming, scorching line drive down the first base line. 0-2.
You get a free piece of candy.
2 strikes on Townsend. I believe that's the snack bar batter on deck or whatever on the concession batter. I don't know. 0-2. Trapped high to first base. It'll be a tough play. Pegged for 3 on putout. He somehow put his foot on the base to retire Townsend just in the nick of time. One away.
Your half-off snack bar batter of the day. You get free or you get half-off hot dogs, anything from the snack bar if he strikes out.
I wish it was free.
Montreza.
Matt Montreza up.
Get loud.
Yeah, get loud. Yeah, let's make some noise. Turn it up. Everybody till the day we drop. Make some sound. Shake the ground. Everybody get down. Here comes the pitch to Montreza from Bash. Ooh, that was close. Just missed outside 1-0. The call strike some. I really need some grub. Comes Bash. He wheels and deals. 1-0 pitch. A blitzing and he went around. Strike one. A ball and a strike on Montreza. Kevin Mathis is on deck. He'll bat next. If Montreza strikes out, I'm going to be getting some food, baby. Comes Bash. He deals 1-1. Strike two call announced. Montreza behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes until those Seagull players, those little leaguers, are in their starting box getting ready to race like jackrabbits to the concession stand should Montreza strike out. Bash kicks and deals. Strike 3! Oh yeah, give me some food, baby! Give me some grub!
Drinks, candy for the next 5 minutes. Go get your refreshments.
Give me some food, baby! 2 outs, Kevin Mathis in the box for the Storm.
Now batting. Number 37. Kevin Mathis.
Kevin Mathis in the box now for the Storm. Kyle Bash into his windup, the pitch to Mathis. Strike one, swinging 0-1. So as I happen to be following the Golden State Warriors online last Sunday, the Dubs went on to edge Toronto 109-101. So the Dubs split the first 2 in Toronto and they will come home even. Here comes the motion and the pitch in the dirt 1-1. So I'm guessing, I'm highly confident that Golden State can home court 2 straight. I know they play game 3 on Wednesday at Oracle Arena and game 4 on Friday at Oracle Arena. I'm highly confident with the Warriors, with their home crowd behind them, that should translate into victory. Here comes the 1-1. Strike 2 call. Now it's Mathis in a 1-2 hole. So I have confidence the Warriors could take a 3-1 lead by the end of this Friday, but that could be easier said than done. Don't take my word for it. It could be a case where my prediction could be 100% wrong. 1-2 on Mathis. Here she comes in the dirt for a ball. Now it's a 2-2 count. Ty Garcia is on deck hoping to get her turn to bat in this frame. One and two. Bash kicks and deals the 1-2. Outside. A ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mathis. 2-2 count. My mistake is actually 3-2 according to the home plate umpire. I could have sworn it was 2-2. We'll see whether or not that matters. Here's pitch from Bash. Strike 3 call. What doesn't matter nonetheless. Well, after 4.5, game official. Seagulls ahead 8-0.
Also, folks,
I apologize for that technical issue. Anyway, the steerage of the Seagull lineup due up here in the bottom of the fifth. Dirk Ryan to lead things off, who shares no relation with the Express. Anyway, of course, I will say it was kind of like the announcer of this game. Remember that NFL contest? The pitch from the new right-hander hurler just downstairs want to know. That new hurler is Keith Santana, a Fremont resident who just completed his sophomore year at Kenyatta College in Redwood City. That's right, Redwood City, climate best by government test. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Dirk Ryan. Oh, that plunks him in the slug. Well, that's painful. Dude. I guess, well, you can tell that Keith Santana looked higher than a kite out there. His adrenaline was flowing, and he plunks Dirk.
from Westmont College, number 32, Neil Sterling.
Neil Sterling steps into bat for the Seagulls. Like I said, there was that dead air in the top of the third, and then the first portion of the bottom of the third, some dead air as well. I guess it's kind of like the announcer of this game, like that NFL game on television. The pitch, oh, dude. I can tell that Santana has been pitching pretty far inside, and of course that latest offering was too close for comfort. 1-0. Of course, Sterling is crowding the plate. That's a factor. 1-0. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike on Sterling. Yeah, I can believe it. It's like, remember the announcer of this game, that NFL contest? I forgot who was playing in that game. I would think the Miami Dolphins were one of those participants. I forgot the other team, though. They decided to just televise the game and have no TV analysts. 1-1 pitch, ball tip, strike two, and it's 1-2 on Sterling. So when we had kind of that dead air in the top of the third as well as beginning bottom third, it kind of was reminiscent of that to a degree. 1-2 on Sterling. We're in the fifth inning. Seagulls ahead 8-0. Ryan on first. Nobody down. Throw to first. No, it's dropped. But yeah, I think it actually hit Ryan in the leg. Well, dude. Could have been called for obstruction. Here comes the right-hander Santana. He's ready. Target outside. The pitch to Sterling and is low. Oh, strike three called. Oh man, that hit the corner. One away. Sterling walks back to the dugout.
Now batting from University of San Francisco, 23, John Murray.
John Murray comes up. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, there are two sound effects that naturally come into my mind when anything unfortunate happens. The pitch to Murray, swinging a foul tip, strike one. That is to say, one is The Price is Right losing horns, the other is the Wheel of Fortune bankrupt whistle. Not that anyone needs to follow my example, but that's something I naturally do to kind of maintain my sanity when something unfortunate happens in my life. One strike on Murray, throw to first, he is safe. And even so, it's like, well, it's one of the most interesting days here at the yard. Seagulls have got a pretty lopsided advantage here in the fifth. The stretch. Here comes one strike pitch. Swinging a drive, hammer to left. Oh, give me some cheesecake. Someone's deep back there. It falls in. The ball drop in left fielder. Here comes the runner steaming around. He's going to make a beeline for the plate. He scores! Ryan scores from first and Murray on second base. 9-0 goals.
Now batting from Kenyatta College, number 38, Shane Wallace.
What a fascinating way to introduce the batter as he steps up to the dish. Yeah, Shane Wallace comes up with Murray on second base with one down. Still one away. It's 9-0 Gulls. Of course, they didn't have the mercy rule during last Saturday's game. Will it be the case tonight? I doubt it. Here's the right-hander, that being Keith Santana, into the stretch. Check second, and comes to the dish. High, 1-0 on Shane Wallace. Shane Wallace with 1 ball and 0 strikes on him. Jordan Williams is on deck. Oh, my mistake, that's actually going to be a pinch hitter. I stand corrected. That happens to be the kid who wears 28. I'll catches, so scan down his name when I can. It's, can't see now. Well, I'll find out soon enough. Here's the stretch. And Santana deals. Upstairs, ball plops away, and the runner's going to break for third. The catcher does not know where that ball is. Now the runner on third base, a base hitter, a sac fly can give the Seagulls a perfect 10. Shane Wallace is ahead in the count, 2-0. Jack Thompson is the on-deck hitter. I finally catch his name and his jersey number. Stretched by Santana. Here it comes. Outside corner, strike one. Of course, the infield, surprisingly, is still back for South Bay. That's a bit interesting. An amazing defensive strategy by the Storm coaching staff had I ever witnessed before. So Wallace with the hitter's count of 2-1. Comes a stretch by Santana. He deals it. Swinging a drive to left field. There should be plenty deep enough, you would assume, to get the runner home. Well, the runner gamble this catch. The runner's going to break. No, better yet, he is not going to roll the dice on that one. Well, with a 9-run cushion, you got to play a bit more conservatively. Smart thinking. Jack Thompson batting in place of Williams.
Now batting, number 28, from Lewis and Clark College, Jack Thompson.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack Thompson steps into the box with an RBI opportunity. So Jordan Williams is going to take a seat in the dugout and pray for his teammates for the rest of tonight's contest. I guess Mark Caviglia figured, Jordan Williams, you've done a humdinger of a job. Now you can take a seat and just support your teammates for the rest of tonight's game. Runner on third base, 2 down, as it's up to Thompson to pick up that runner who's just 90 feet away. Here's a stretch by Santana. He deals it upstairs, 1-0. So it's a pretty lopsided score, much like it was last Saturday. Although the Seagulls did get more of a challenge in Yuba yesterday, but the Gulls won both ends of the twin bill. Game 1, 7-4. Game 2, 3-2. Target inside. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Blessing, and he takes it. Oh, that was evidently a ball. Or was it? And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The umpire does confirm it is 2-0. A base hit can give the Seagulls 10. They currently have 9. 2-0 from Santana. It is high. 3-0 on Thompson. I should mention Thompson is just completed his freshman year at Lewis and Clark College. He is a Millbrae resident, so he is local. 3-0 on Thompson. Jack Thompson shows no relation to Bobby. Stretch. Here's the 3-0. Strike one. Yeah, Bobby Thompson, remember when he hit that walk-off home run off Ralph Branca where Russ Hodges had his iconic call, which is made baseball history, down in Cezanne. Interestingly enough, one thing I'm realizing, that's stretched by the righty, comes the 3-1 pitch, strike 2 call, no, it's a full count. I will say that Giants fans were tuned in to Russ Hodges, but interestingly, Dodger fans were tuned into the Brooklyn Dodgers broadcast, and they heard Red Barber. So not everyone got to hear Russ Hodges' iconic call of Bobby Thompson's shot heard round the world. Stretch. Comes the 3-2 payoff. Swinging a drive on a pop to shallow left. Left fielder comes in. Will he make the play? Yep, that's a catch to retire the side. So Seagulls scratch another run across after 5. 9-0 Seagulls.
Thank their sponsors for providing the players with the best on-field experience west of the Mississippi. Jill Penner, Real Estate, Air Definition, Precision Parking, Sam Beck, Marucci, The Game Hat, Diamond Baseball. Number 20,
Ty Garcia to lead things off for the Storm. Sorry, my voice is a bit raspy. The allergies have been a surging blitz. Ty Garcia to lead things off for the Storm as we're in the 6th innings, 9-0 San Francisco. As a still Kyle Bash on the mound. The pitch to Garcia, swept over to short. He's going to make the catch on the line for the first out. 1 away, 1 pitch, 1 gone. So the home plate umpire does inform me of a couple of defensive changes for San Francisco. It appears playing in place of Cole Gabrielson and batting in the 3rd spot is the dude who wears the 15. I'll track down. It's a Ben Guess. And 42 for 32, Neil Sterling has been replaced. I'll tell you more in a sec. The pitch. Upstairs 1-0 on the dude who wears 17, William Murray. That is 42 for 32. That happens to be, I'll find out who it is in just a sec. Here's the 1-0. Outside corner, strike one. I'm trying to scan the roster here. The numbers are so fragmented. As Matt O'Mahony is playing in place of Sterling. Ball on the strike on Murray. Here comes the offering outside. 2-1 on Murray. As it looks like Kyle Bash has been as cool as a cucumber on the mound tonight. Here comes the 2-1. Swing pop up. Just behind second on the outfield grass. Right fielder is going to call him off and make the catch in shallow right for the second out. Nice play. 2 down. Back to the top of the lineup, Antonio Silvas. But yep, I stand corrected. This happens to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Dylan Wilson. Dylan Wilson steps up to the bat in the 1 spot. So it's a 7 for 23. Thank my compliments to the home plate umpire. It's going to be Dylan Wilson, who is a San Leandro resident, just completed his junior year at Holy Names. Holy Names, that private Catholic school in Oaktown. Dylan Wilson, a timeout. I thought, well, that was fascinating. A quick timeout. Now, time in, back to the program. Dylan Wilson is going to generate a 2-out rally. Comes the motion and pitch from Bash. Strike 1 swinging, no balls, 1 strike on Dylan Wilson. Now the burning question is, has Kyle Bash allowed a hit tonight? I'm guessing he has, and he's been pretty effective tonight. The pitch ripped over third. It's going to be nice catch! All about positioning at the hot corner, and the inning is over. After 5.5, Seagulls ahead 9-0.
Jack Thompson.
Jack Thompson is leading off. It's going to be 2, 3, and 4 for the Seagulls here in the bottom of inning number 7. And in case you just joined us, the Seagulls lead the Storm 11-0. As the Seagulls, we'll see. I mean, they would love to maybe obtain some more runs here, but right now this game is pretty well insurmountable for the Storm. Here comes the pitch. So drop down to second base. He has to scoop. He'll flip to first. 1 pitch, 1 away. That'll send up Ben Guess.
Now batting, number 15 from University of Utah, Ben Guess.
I guess looks like the home plate umpire says that the bat that was cracked a moment ago is going to be given to at least one of the Little Leaguers as kind of a souvenir. What a nice little gift for one of the Seagull Little Leaguers. Comes pitch to Bang Gas. Strike called outside corner on 1. I guess the bat that was used by the batter that just grounded on him, well, that being Jack Thompson, was chipped, so they're going to give it to one of the boys as a souvenir. Comes 1 strike pitch to Gas. A ball squirts to the backstop. 1-1. He did not go, according to the field judge on appeal. 1-1 on Ben Gas. So Jake Rincon, who just completed his freshman year at University of Hawaii Hilo. Here comes the stretch. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing line into center field. There's going to be a base hit. Oh, give me some cheesecake. Those line right back up the middle just like a baby.
Now batting from North Carolina Central University, number 9, Miles Costin.
Miles Costin comes up as he's got 1 on, 1 away. Costin, the cleanup man for the Gulls. Stretch, the pitch to Miles. It is strike called outside corner, 0-1. I'm guessing that they will play all 9 innings of tonight's contest, even if the score is 100-0. That's what I believe, anywho. Here comes a stretch. Here comes the 1-strike pitch to Miles. Downstairs, ball 1. So there is no mercy rule in this league. Honestly, I don't think there should be a mercy rule in any league. I think they should just play the whole thing through, even if the score is 100-0. Here comes a stretch by Rincon. The pitch to Costin, 1-1. Strike 2, swinging 1-2 on Costin. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Costin. And now here's Rincon working from the stretch. Runner does not go with the pitch. It is in the dirt. Ball now. The runner is breaking for second. The throw. Not in time. It's ball. Skips past the shortstop who is covering, or the second baseman rather. But bottom line, the one that's been guessed in at second with a virtual stolen base. 1 away still. Costin with a 2-2 count. I believe that's Tyler Josh. No, it's not Tyler Josh, another pinch hitter. Here it comes. Strike 3 called, 2 down for the Gulls here in the 7th inning. Another pinch hitter.
Now batting. From Lafayette University, number 14,
Ethan Stern steps into the box for the Seagulls. Stern, who just completed his sophomore year at Lafayette College. Stern from Palo Alto. He's from this neck of the woods. Stretch the pitch to Stern. It is low and away. Check out this young boy who got that chipped bat as a souvenir. Check out, look at the smile in his face. I guess he feels like a kid in Christmas time. 1-0 the count on Stern. Stretch by Rincon. Here it comes. Ball skips away. It looks like now the catcher loses track of the ball, and scampering into third base like the Roadrunner cartoons is Ben Guess. 2-0 at the count on Ethan Stern. Like I said, the Seagulls get traveled to Medford to play the Rogues in what is going to be defined as a showdown between first place teams in the circuit. It's Thursday through Sunday forthcoming. 2-0, low and away, 3-0. So the Seagulls will pull into a tie for first place with the Medford Rogues, barring a South Bay Storm epic type of offensive miracle. 3-0. Here comes the stretch and the offering. It is swinging a lifter foul to the right out of play toward the street. Strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Ethan Stern.
We'll get you a free piece of candy.
Well, I tell you what. So I brought my lucky items to the park today, my lucky charm socks as well as my terrible towel. 3 balls, 1 strike on Stern. Here comes a stretch by Rincon. Here's the 3-1 offering. It is strike 2 called. Full count on Stern. I don't want to jinx anything here, but the Seagulls had only 1 bagel hung on their side of the scoreboard. That was back in the first inning. 3-2 count on Stern. Stretch by Rincon. Here's the payoff. Low and away, so runners are at the corners. Just staying put on third is Ben Guess.
Now batting from North Carolina Central University, number 22, Tim Fishboat.
Tim Fishboat comes up with runners at the corner, still 2 down for the Seagulls here in the 7th inning. Tim Fishboat comes up to bat for San Francisco. Runners at the corner is 2 away. So the fans are having a wonderful time on this Monday night. The pitch to Fishboat. Swing a drive. Hammer to right center field. Oh, give me some cheesecake. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Here comes Guest to score. So trail runner races into third. The ball goes into off the fence and staying put on third is Stern, and racing into second is Fishboat. 12-0 Seagulls.
Now batting, number 35, Donovan
Jonathan Blishen, who has danger zone by Kenny Loggins as his walk-up number, is in the box. The pitch to Jonathan. Strike one, he went around, no question, 0-1. Second and third, 2 down for San Francisco here in the 7th inning. As Seagulls on top 12-0. Here's a stretch by Wing Cone. Here comes the 0-1 to Blishen. And a slow ball is in the dirt, and the runners need to stay put. 1-1. Looks like the catcher wanted a new ball from the home plate umpire. Once again, 2 umpires officiating tonight's contest. They are 2 people that have never been in my kitchen. The stretch. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Blishen. It is in the dirt. Ball squirts away. The runner's going to break for home. They may have a play. The dish. He will score as Stern does score, and stopping on third is... Is that fish vote? Yeah, it is. I was right. 13-0 Seagulls. Seagulls with a baker's dozen here in the 7th inning. 2-1, the count on the right-handed batter. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Ball 3. 3-1, the count on Blishen. I lost track of his name for a moment. I was kind of drawing a blank there, but now it's back. 3-1 count on Jonathan Blishen. Here's the stretch. And here's the 3-1. So Chopper past the pitcher. He's going to field it and will take it unassisted, uncontested, unskeeved. After 7, the Seagulls, in essence, do not have triskaidekaphobia as they lead 7-0. Or 13-0. 13. So I'll be right back after these words.
All right, guys, you guys, all right, see you later.
Let's go! I love that they know the song.
Reader is that triskaidekaphobia is fear of number 13.
He strikes out.
Back to baseball here. It's going to be the Anthony DeSantis, who's batting in place of Michael Montreza. He is the snack bar batter.
Anthony DeSantis.
Here's the motion and pitch. Strike called inside corner. Oh yeah, if this guy strikes out, I am getting some grub. 1 strike on Anthony DeSantis. Anthony, a Salinas resident. Here's the stretch. And here comes the pitch. It's lined into center field. He got under it too much. Center fielder on the first. He's going to make the catch for the first out. So the Storm 5 outs away from reality. There's another pinch hitter. I guess so many. Might as well call it pinch hitter roulette.
Number 27.
Let me hear his name, dude.
Jake Baker.
Thank you. Jake Baker steps into bat now for the Storm, batting in place of Kevin Mathis. Timeout, okay. Jake Baker in his first plate appearance of the night. He is a Mountain View resident, just completed his freshman year at Gavilan College down in Gilroy. Here comes outside for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 strikes on Jake Baker. Now the right-hander Espino wheels and deals, swing and a miss, and it's 1-1 the count on Baker. Well, I said this during Saturday's gig that being a coach is like being a baker, according to John Madden. You have to have specific ingredients and know how to blend them accordingly. 1-1 pitch, pot foul left side out of play, strike 2. That's right. John Madden said that once during when he was an analyst for NFL on CBS. Wasn't it John Madden who came up with this idea called the telestrator? I'll give you more details when I get around to it. Here's this motion and the 1-2. Strike break, call it 2 down for the Storm here in the 8th. The one time, John Madden, the telestrator came into play back in the 1980s. It was used mainly by John Madden. And before the telestrator was used, there'd be a graphic on the TV screen that says CBS chalkboard. Cole Anderson comes up for the Storm. Yeah, I can't believe it was like CBS chalkboard. And then Madden would use his telestrator to kind of make it seem like it's a chalkboard when in fact it's a telestrator. Here's Cole Anderson in the box. Espino delivers straight down the middle, strike 1 called. 0-1 the count on Cole Anderson. Anderson is a Rockland resident. He just completed his freshman year at Cal State East Bay in Hayward. 0-1. Michael Espino ready. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2, or no, I goofed. That was a ball. Looked like Anderson broke the plane, but that was just what I thought. 1-1 on Anderson. Stretched by Michael Espino. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Drive to center. Shallow. Oh, dude! That was going to be the Texas Leaguer of all 32nd base. He is going to be out. Oh, he's tagged. Bingo! A Texas Leaguer to center turns chaotic for the Storm. After 7.5, it is the Seagulls with the Baker's dozen and the Storm with the goose egg. Who is undecided as far as college. He resides in the capital of Silicon Valley, that being San Jose Canseco. Anyway, it's going to be this, going to be 42. This, I'll find out, I'll figure out his name in a sec. Here's pitch. Strike 1 swing and 0-1 the count. That's Matt Mahoney. I shot a blank there, and sometimes my mind kind of can draw a blank every now and then. Here's motion and the pitch to Mahoney. It is strike 2 swinging, and it snowballs into strikes on Mahoney. Seagulls on top 13-0 here in the 8th inning. Well, the Seagulls, I think they could be playing a bit more conservatively, maybe more than a bit more conservatively. Here it is. Strike 3 called. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 down. So the Seagulls, well,
now batting.
When you look at how much they have on the scoreboard, they obviously do not have triskaidekaphobia, like I was explaining before. According to the tarot card reader, she says triskaidekaphobia is fear of number 13. John Murray in the box. Here's the motion by Garcia. The pitch lifted foul. That's a supersonic laser blast to the screen. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Murray. Shane Wallace on deck. It's getting a bit chilly out here. Yes, it is. The pitch. Strike 2 called. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes on Murray. And Nick Garcia coming in with a wing and a prayer. John Murray with an 0-2 count. Garcia ready. Here she comes. Chopper foul. Still 0-2. Well, John Murray he's got an 0-2 count. Anyway, of course, I was telling you at the top of the show about this message on the Top Speed Baseball Twitter feed. The motion by Garcia, the 0-2 offering, and a strike 3 swinging 2 down for the Seagulls here in the 8th. I'll just kind of translate it. We are out of hot dogs. That's a bummer. Oh well, that's unfortunate. I guess, Stan's Fatala. I'm just going to translate what Stan said to make it seem like he's talking to me, Dion.
38.
Shane Wallace comes up to that now. Stan said, rather than watch makeup tutorials on YouTube, get off the couch and do whatever you can to practice and perfect your sportscasting craft. The pitch bunted down the third baseline. This is big trouble. It's a juggle. No play. Wallace on first, courtesy of a juggle down the third baseline.
Now batting from Lewis and Clark College, number 28, Jack Thompson.
Jack Thompson comes up to bat for the Seagulls. Still 2 down, runner on first base. Nick Garcia on the mound for the Storm. The fans are already heading for the exit here. The pitch, straight down the middle, strike 1 called, 0-1 the count. Jack Thompson with 1 strike on him. After this, I got 1 more inning to broadcast, and after that, I get to go jump on the freeway. 1 strike on Thompson. Here's a stretch by Garcia. Here comes the 1 strike pitch in the dirt. Uh-oh, that ball's low. Yeah, give me some cheesecake. The catcher lost total track of that ball, and racing into second is Wallace. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thompson looking to get a base hit and give the Seagulls another tally here. There are 2 down. Garcia steps off and he wipes his brow and now gets back on the slab. Here's the stretch. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Low and away. 2-1. Jack Thompson with a hitter's count of 2-1 on him. Here's Garcia into a stretch. Shortstop fakes. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. We can tell that twilight is turning into night here on the peninsula. 3-1. Now here's Garcia into a stretch. Check second. And comes to the dish. Swing ground ball hit to left foul. Strike 2, full count. Jack Thompson with a 3-2 count. A base hit can probably pick up Wallace from second base. Well, Wallace is a speedy runner, so a single can theoretically plate him. We'll see. Here's a stretch. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. That will do it for the Seagulls, as I guess for the Seagulls, the baker's dozen will have to be enough. After 8, it is the Seagulls on top by 13.
40.
Number 40, more specifically, Matthew Roth coming up to bat as the Storm looking to make a game of a lopsided contest. The Seagulls on top, a baker's dozen to a goose egg here. Matthew Roth up to lead off for the Storm here in the ninth. Stretched by Michael Espino. Here comes the pitch to Roth. It is a strike called outside corner. Yeah, Matthew, the Grapes of Roth. That's would be a Chris Berman style nickname. Yeah, Grapes, kind of like Grapes of Wrath, that Steinbeck classic. One strike pitch. Stripped. There, third baseline. Down toward the corner. Oh yeah, streak around for double bases there. Uh-oh, this is going to be fascinating. And that throw was well off the bullseye, so a double for Roth. That was interesting.
Now batting, number 7. Dylan Wilson.
Dylan Wilson comes up to bat now for the Storm. Well, the Storm have reason to believe here, although it is an insurmountable advantage crafted by the Seagulls. But if the Storm tally 13 or more times here in the ninth, they'll be on the front page of the Chronicle tomorrow. Here comes the pitch. Downstairs, 1-0. Well, the Seagulls more concerned about getting outs here. They just need 3 more to officially ice this victory. 1-0, the count on Dylan Wilson. Here's a stretch by the righty. And he deals the 1-0 pitch. The floater over third base is going to be over his head and in there for a base hit. There's one. The runner's going to have to stop at third, so runners are at the corners. Wow. All of a sudden, the Storm, their slumbering offense appears to be igniting here in the ninth, but not before the Seagulls have crafted an insurmountable lead. Well, we'll see. I mean, the Storm still have a puncher's chance, although it could be too little too late for South Bay. First and third, nobody down. Michael Espino, after 2 innings, has been being lit up here in the ninth. Here it comes. The drive to center field. This will be plenty deep enough. The runner's going to make the tag. The runner's going to take a gamble. May have a peg to the dish. He's going to... No, it's cut off. Oh, did he not touch the plate? Oh, but yeah, he did so, evidently. Well, didn't look like he touched the dish. I don't know. Well, the bottom line, the Storm are on the board. Nathan Block in the box now for the Storm, as staying put on first base is Dylan Wilson. There's Nathan Block in the box. Seagulls 2 outs away from a win. Here's the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Block, runner goes. Pitch is a ball. Third to second base. It is ball off the bullseye. So Wilson steals second. Went away for Fishvote to contest the runner, but it was unsuccessful. 1-0 the count. Stretch. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Strike one swing and 1-1 count. I thought I'd read you this quote that I got. It was from Kirk Gibson, of all people. I'll read this to you. Remain humble and always treat others with kindness and respect. I'll give you more in just a sec. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 swing, and then it's 1 and 2. A harsh comment can hurt another person, but a kind word can produce amazing things. That's a nice quote from Mr. Gibson. Of course, Kirk Gibson will not end up in Cooperstown, although his home run in the '88 World Series will. Here it comes. Strike 3, swinging 2 down for the Storm here in the ninth. So like I said, Mr. Gibson will not end up in the Hall of Fame, although it would be nice if he did. Brandon Priap, last chance for the Storm to get anything. Literally anything. So it's Dylan Wilson on second base, 2 down. The Storm down to their last chance. Espino ready. Comes the pitch to Brandon. It is outside and high, 1-0. So I thought I'd just read you that interesting quote from Kirk Gibson, of all people. Yeah, Kirk Gibson is currently a color analyst for FSN Detroit for the Tigers. He and also Jack Morris, the other color analyst. Here it is. Foul tip, strike 1. So the Seagulls are 2 strikes away from a much-needed victory. Seagulls currently are half a game behind the Rogues, and the Seagulls will pull into a tie for first, barring a Storm miraculous miracle. Stretched by Espino. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now the Storm down to the last bullet, as foretold by Hawk Harrelson. The Seagulls 1 strike away from pulling into a tie for first in the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League with the Medford Rogues. Stretched by Espino. 1-2 offering. Strike three swinging, and that's the ball game. So this game is mercifully over, and as foretold in video games, game over. The Seagulls win it 13-1. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I will say that I will have more gigs forthcoming this summer in the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League, and they will be to be arranged. Until then, I am your announcer Dion, reminding you, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Once again, final score, the Seagulls over the Storm 13-1. Seagulls win a laugher tonight and in essence pull into a tie for first place with Medford. For Bay Area Sports TV, I am your announcer Dion. Good night.